Yo, you know those moments you have where, like, if you have an argument with someone and then you know, you go home or you at the red light or you in the shower or you brushing your teeth and you sitting there like, well, damn, I should have said this. This shit would have killed them. This shit would have hit them hard if I said this. Well, I'm having one of those moments right now. But it's not with another person or argument, it's with myself. And I find myself in these situations a lot because I feel like the more you grow, the more you look back, at least me, and I look at my growth and I'm like, well, damn, if I would have did this during this time, I would have been here. Or if I started here, I would have been here a little bit further. I do that shit all the time. I don't beat myself up about it, but it's like, damn, what the fuck was I doing? Why was I wasting my time? I bring that up because I'm sitting here thinking about college and how college for me was a waste of time. 4 years of college, bachelor's in social work, didn't use it. I feel like after going into social work, you realize how traumatic that shit is, and then me having trauma myself, I don't want to have to bring that shit home for a little bit of pay. And so I'm like, well, that ain't for me, so I don't use my degree. So I wasted 4 years of college. And disclaimer, I'm not saying college is a bad thing, to each his own. But in my case, I wasted my 4 years for some shit that really I don't even use. And I'm sitting here like, well, damn, what if I went 1 year all in on myself? What if I invested 1 year completely on me? How much further would I be than those 4 years that I did at a university? Me personally, I know the answer to that question. I would be much further. You would be much further too. But we give in to the broken promises of the safe path. That's what society tell us. They sell us this idea that if we follow the traditional route, if you go to college, if you get a degree, if you get a good job, then success will automatically follow you. And that's not true. Real life does not work that way. You learn that the older you get. Well, damn, they told me that it ain't true. Shit, me personally, I'm supposed to have a fucking bad wife, supposed to have a you know, huge mansion with like 4 or 5 cars in the garage. I ain't got it. Somebody lied to me. And it get to a point to where it's like, damn, I've been duped. A lot of people been duped. A lot of people been lied to, but it's okay because you could get to a point to where it's like, okay, I walked through the wrong door, but let me not walk through the wrong room. So you don't want to be sitting in the wrong room with a bunch of people regretting, like, damn, I should have did this. So we gon' get the fuck out that room. And you know, again, I fell for the shit too. Like, damn, if you go to school, if I get a good paying job, then I'm gonna be set up for life. Only to find out, like, yo, it don't work like that. That's like the happily ever after. Never, I mean, shit, sound cute, sound good, but I don't know too many happily ever after stories. But at the end of the day, it was some shit that I learned. There was a couple things that I learned. The true value wasn't even my degree. A lot of things that I learned in college was more so discipline, resilience, and how to adapt to life. I lived in it on college campus, and so I was, you know, kind of around a lot of people. And I had to learn, you know, the rules and you know, all type of shit. So it wasn't even a degree. Like a lot of that stuff, the discipline, that came from me being in school. Those same traits, the discipline and the resilience and learning how to adapt, them same traits could be redirected into my dreams. And so that there is worth way more and more valuable than a piece of paper, than a diploma. To go work for a job or corporation that will probably barely pay me or pay me just enough to not leave. And then not only that, but you end up hating the job. It's like You know what I'm talking about. It's the honeymoon phase. It's like, okay, this cool. But you get to a point to where it's like, I hate this shit. I hate my life. That was pretty much me. Like, damn, why did I waste all this money still paying college back? I mean, Sally Mae, whatever the fuck her name is, she gonna keep calling me, keep hanging up on her goofy ass, because it's like, I'll pay you when I pay you. But I learned way more, like, through, you know, hanging around people and doing all the shit on campus than I did in class. A lot of my learning, I think I have autism, because a lot of shit that I learned later in life, but I learned it probably in first grade. So it's like 2 + 2 is 4, okay? But then in first grade, if you told me 3 + 1 is 4, I would be like, no fucking way. Only 2 + 2 = 4. There's no way. There's no other way you could get 4. And then, you know, maybe like in like 12th grade, I was like, oh, I see what they was talking about. So I picked the shit up, but it's just delayed. Maybe that's a better word. I'm a little delayed. But at the end of the year, it's like I learned way more through, you know, hanging around in university and being around people than I did actually in class. And let's be real, 1 year of unfiltered focus, that would take you much further. Let me ask you a question. If you could commit 4 years to a system that didn't guarantee results, why not just go 1 year fully invested on your own growth, on your own ideas, on your own passion? How many people would rather go to 4 years of something that's not guaranteed? Again, at the time, if I did go to school, if I did get my degree, I was guaranteed a great job. Only to find out later, nah, homie, it don't work like that. And then you watch other people come in and get hired, and it's like, well, shit, I'm more qualified, but that shit don't matter. You got to go all in on you. And what feels better than building something on your own? Like, when you work on yourself, you're not just working for a diploma. You're not just working for some goddamn company, boring company that don't care about you. You are building something that's yours, your skill, your mindset, your future. You could pass it down. And for me, it's like I would much rather go 1 year just all on me, and I feel like I will learn so much more along the way, opposed to going to 4 years of college. And I know that because it's happened. I graduated, fucking 5 years ago, and the shit that I learned, I mean, I was trying to talk to girls, bro. I didn't care about none of that shit. I'm not dumb, but a lot of the shit that we was learning, it didn't apply to me in life. It really didn't. You know what you know at that point. So but yeah, again, the shit I did learn was discipline, you know, consistency, resilience, how to adapt to certain shit, you know. That I did take with me later in my life, but that little piece of paper that they gave me, that shit ain't worth anything. Again, if you're in school, continue to go to school. You know, you can make a difference in this world, but I guarantee you will make a much bigger difference if you went all in 1 year on you and fix all the shit that you need to fix and just grow on yourself. Let me know in the comments. I could be wrong. Send this video to somebody who could use it. Like, comment, subscribe. I love y'all. Have a blessed day. Deuces.